The fate in the dark side is your weakness. Yeah, the fate in your friends is yours. Oh, sorry about that. It's just playing Star Wars. Got my Luke Jedi right here. And of course, the Emperor, who we know from the novel in '83 was Emperor Palpatine. Didn't hear that a lot back then. Today, it's pretty common to call him Emperor Palpatine. I hate when people refer to the Emperor as Darth Sidious. That is when they're talking about anything after the prequels. When you talk about, I've heard people say Darth Sidious when they're talking about Return of the Jedi. It's the Emperor, Emperor Palpatine. But, you know, there was something very odd about this figure. He has a cloak, but it doesn't come off. Look at the Luke Jedi. Cloak removable. Hood comes down, although it's not a very good looking figure. I mean, the figure's okay. I never was a fan of the cloak for it. But why did they do the Emperor like this? I mean, all the other figures did. You know, the Vader had his vinyl cape. Prune Face has something similar to this. And why not with the Emperor? Well, it probably wouldn't have looked right. It just looks more cynic. You have to. This captures the Emperor, I think, more than this would have. But did you know that there was another plan for this? Although we don't know for sure if it was going to have a removable cloak, we can kind of guess because most of the figures did. But the original design that they were working on, he didn't have his hood. You can see his whole head. Now, as a kid, many a times I said, what does the Emperor look like under that cloak head? What's it called? Hood. Why couldn't I think of the word hood? Anyway, what did he look like under there? Well, let's take a look at some photos of what he almost looked like. Now, of course, these prototypes aren't painted. But you can see here he is next to the released Emperor figure. Now, the figures look almost similar, of course, except for the head. But you'll notice here, if you look closely at some of these photos, the outfit is a little different. Look at the arms of the released and unreleased figure. As you can see, they spent more time making it look like a robe on the released figure. As you can see, it hangs down like a robe. So it does kind of make you wonder, were they going to put a robe on this? And chances are they probably were. I mean, they could have just didn't like the design and went with something else. But you got to remember the Emperor was a free figure to start with. It was the one to kick off the '84 release of the Return of the Jedi figures. And it costs more to do a figure with a cape or a cloak or anything like this. So it's a good chance to save money, although they did release it later on card, but the first ones came out free. Hey, they're going to try to save every dime they can, so just make him one mold, make him like a regular figure, no extra pieces. I mean, you got a cane, that's all the extra you're going to get. Again, we don't know for sure why they changed, but to me that's the most reasonable. Or maybe it just didn't look right. I mean, I can't see the Emperor figure with this kind of hood on. Let's check out some more of the photos. From this angle here, you can really tell the difference between the arms. How the release figure was designed with more of a robe look. But again, the most interesting about this is no hood. I mean, we never saw the Emperor without a hood. Let's take a closer look at the figure's head. Although we never see the look of the Emperor's head in the original films, and we didn't see it for years later until Revenge of the Sith, they got it pretty good. From not knowing what he would look like without his hood on, to how he did look without his hood in Revenge of the Sith, I think they did pretty good. The face here does seem a little bit more detailed than the released Emperor face. Not a major difference, but I'll let you compare the two so you can decide for yourself. Okay, well, that's a look at the Emperor, because I bet a lot of you didn't know about this prototype with the hood off the figure. It's very interesting, and I figure most of you would like to know about it. Well, that's about it. As always, please subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think they didn't put a cloak on him to save cost? Or do you think they just thought it looked better with the mold that looked like a cloak? Or do you think they just looked better like this, so they released this one? Let me know what you think. And until the next video, we'll talk again.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.